Tonight, we're hosting a creative happy hour event, and so we've got a series of mobile art and creative engagement activities from the artists of Ready Go and Springboard for the Arts. So we've got different things that you can actually interact with the artists. You can create your own postcards, your own fiber coasters, your own wooden sign. You can get your portrait drawn.
This is the street corner letterpress where people can make their own postcards on 100-year-old letterpresses.
This is all about kind of activating Bloomington Central Station Park here in the South Loop and just really engaging and having conversations with people on what would make them more excited to live here, to linger, to work here in this area, and how we can make sure that some of those identified projects and activities rise to the top of our priority list. So the Creative Placemaking Commission is here, and then we've got staff here, and we've invited artists and residents and businesses from the South Loop to just come. We also did a bus tour of recent creative placemaking activities, and so those activities are really to spur interest and open your mind and kind of start to brainstorm what can we do continuing into the future to make this area more walkable, vibrant, and creative.
Hello, I'm Eric Pearson. I did one of the early demonstration projects for the South Loop in 2015. I did a 13.5 by 50 foot mural at Cypress Semiconductor and the National Wildlife Refuge. The whole idea was a confluence of science and nature, because I found it really interesting to have the juxtaposition of this heavy tech industry right next to a national wildlife refuge.
I like to come at different parts of the day to go to see convergence because they're so different. In the early morning when the sun is shining through the sculpted glass, it kind of twinkles, and so it has this glow of twinkling light to it, which I love, and it's so big, like a big iris. Then it frames the skies. But at night, it becomes this ring that changes its shape more as you move around it, and it's about the slowly changing colors of this big ring in the sky.
I think my favorite pieces really started with the green one and the purple one, just because of its size and the way they sat together. But all together, if you take time to take pictures or walk around it and look at it, if you stand in the right spot, it almost feels like they're part of the other buildings, you know, and so I feel like that is a really great success.
I really thought about the human scale of this. Even though it's 13 feet, it kind of is, in my mind, a bridge between what's big and built and what's small and what's us. And I think of it as something that can be approachable and welcoming and playful, and offers a point, almost a marker of sorts. I think all these pieces are markers of sorts as we discover them in the landscape.
It's really fun to see all the wraps. I remember seeing the proposals for them, and now to see them in real life, they're really engaging because they aren't typical wraps. You know, they aren't just a flat 2D image of some sort of artwork. They all start to create an artistic conversation on the Bloomington South Loop campus. So it's not just so much solo pieces of artworks dotting here or there. It's more like you're running into them more now, so it becomes a part of the overall experience.
Artists are integral to this whole system of creative placemaking. You know, they're really important in terms of identifying how we can look at different projects or activities or events, lending their creative vision to the process. And ideally, you know, in the future, we would love to see this community really foster artists that live and work here. So we want this to become a welcoming environment to creative people and to artists. And so it's very important to have them come to these events and participate and give us their input in terms of what would make this a place where they would ideally in the future like to live and work.